The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Emory's Digital Marketing Certificate Program webinar. My name is Srđan Popović, and I'm here with two wonderful colleagues to tell you how taking courses and programs at Emory Continuing Education, Emory University, can enhance your careers and potentially change the course of your lives. Before we go into today's presentation, I need to make sure that you can hear us well. So if you don't mind, there is a little hand on your side panels. If you can click on that hand just to confirm that you can hear me, I would really appreciate that. And I'm going to wait a couple of moments for you to do that. Thank you very much. I have your hands. For those of you who are connecting, just make sure that you're either dialing in or using your computer headset. So with that being said, and this quick check, I'm going to start you right away with reasons why choose Emory for the sake of your time. So I'm assuming that most of you on today's call are familiar with Emory's reputation. I really don't want to go much into it. I will just mention that with this reputation as being the top 20 school in the country comes the standard of academic excellence of our curriculum content that we teach in classes as well as instructors. And in this program, you have that one-on-one instructor interaction, which is fantastic for your student and learning experience. Also to mention that these instructors with the standard that we pose, they come with years of experience in the field. Many of them work as consultants and they live and breathe what they teach, which is excellent. So transferable skills, our department in general is all about the hands-on real-world experience. And what we teach in these courses and programs, we want our students to take and apply and use it because our students are adults. This is adult education, and that's how we learn the best. Flexible scheduling and payment plan, we'll talk about it, provide more information. So I just wanted to start you with some of these reasons why choose Emory. And then when it comes to today's agenda, I'll tell you a little bit about us. We definitely want to spend the time talking about the digital marketing certificate program. What careers does this program prepare students for? The program structure and what students will learn. But we also want to show you a quick demo, and which I think you'll find quite enjoyable to see how that looks from the student perspective. And definitely in the end, allow the time for your questions. So if you don't mind, just allow us to go through this presentation and we'll address your questions in the end. With that being said, Emory Continuing Education, or frequently abbreviated EC, is a non-credit division of Emory University that has been providing courses and programs within professional development and personal enrichment for over 65 years and to Atlanta metro area and beyond. Obviously, you're here today with us to hear us talk about digital marketing, which falls into this area of professional development. In this area, we have other programs such as Salesforce Administrator, Paralegal, Project Management, HR, Cybersecurity, and others. And I just wanted to extend the invitation to all of you who need help with professional development. If that's outside of this program that we are talking about today, just feel free to reach us at learn@emory.edu so we can help you on that career development journey. Now, we decided to partner with Pathstream to deliver career development programs designed to meet the needs of both employees and employers. We utilize substantial market research and analysis to create certificate programs with the digital skills that top employers need in today's ever-evolving technology-driven economy. This is very, very important to us because this industry is changing fast. And to be on the top of that, to deliver the most updated curriculum is something that's very important to us, where we also collaborate with major tech companies and, again, bring those instructors who are subject matter experts that bring themselves the practical real-world experience. Our goal is to provide students the right tools to obtain new job or promotion in as little as 4 months. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it on to our wonderful, long-standing instructor, a giant in the industry, Mary Zimnick, who will tell you a little bit about her, and then we'll continue with this presentation.
Okay, I promise I will make it as little as possible. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I'm always so excited to get the opportunity to talk to new students. My name is Mary Zimnick, and like Serge mentioned, I have been teaching at Emory in this department for nearly 17 years, and I've been teaching in the design and marketing, so design for print and for web. And we've had a digital marketing program up for several years, and we've had such wonderful students come through and graduate and move on to do extraordinary things in their businesses and their lives and their careers. And so I'm super excited that you get to hear about what our program is doing right now and what we can do for you.
Thank you, Mary. My name is Lauren, and I am here representing Pathstream. I lead the learning design team at Pathstream, so have really been working closely to create this certificate program that we'll be talking about today. So I'm excited to show you the platform and answer any questions that you have about the curriculum. So let's dive right in. So what is this digital marketing certificate that we're going to be talking about today? Well, this program was really built to be a hands-on learning experience that is using a lot of the digital marketing tools that you will see today in the industry. So for example, this course will actually be using Google Analytics, Facebook Ads Manager, spreadsheets, in order to prepare you for a digital marketing career. And all of this content is hosted on Pathstream, which we'll show you today. And that's think of it as sort of like your online classroom, your textbook, all of the information that you need to complete the program. As I mentioned, this experience is really hands-on. And so you're going to be using Facebook Ads Manager, Google Analytics, Google Sheets, Google Slides directly in the Pathstream platform in order to complete the projects in this certificate and learn about digital marketing. And these projects are based on real-world scenarios, real-world companies, and you can actually even use your own, you can choose what company you work on. It could be your own company, it could be the company you work for some of these projects. So there's really that customization that's also built into this experience. This certificate program is broken down into 3 courses. And so the first course is really focused on the foundations of digital marketing and marketing in general. So you're going to be kind of diving into some of the strategic elements of marketing, such as a SWOT analysis, the 4 Ps, customer journeys, value propositions, and really diving into those really fundamental topics. In this course, you're actually going to be creating a digital marketing plan for a company of your choice. That's actually the final project for this course. In the second course, you're focusing on a really emerging area of marketing, which is marketing analytics, specifically using Google Sheets and Google Analytics to conduct A/B tests, to calculate KPIs and other important marketing metrics. So this is really an emerging area of marketing. It's incredibly important today with the amount of data that's being generated by marketing efforts, and it's really critical for the field. In the third course, you're going to be really diving into social media marketing. And so you're going to be using Facebook Ads Manager, Facebook Insight tools to actually run an ad campaign of your choosing. And so you're going to be creating an ad, a social media ad. You're going to be selecting the metrics, identifying the campaign tools you'll use, and actually creating the visual content and posting it using Facebook Ads Manager. So if we kind of zoom out a little bit, one question you might be asking for yourself is, what careers would I be getting into after this? Is this really the right program for me? And this program is typically, targeting a job area such as a digital marketing coordinator or a marketing specialist. But we often see a lot of entrepreneurs taking this course. We see a lot of people that are pursuing maybe entry-level work. They've never worked in this field before. Or maybe they already work in marketing, but they kind of want to brush up the digital marketing skill set. So this is really a broad skill set that can be applied to a lot of different professions within the marketing field, but also in other jobs that might include or be associated with marketing. And part of the reason why Emory is bringing you this program is because the data is saying, that we're moving in the direction of more and more digital marketing jobs, more and more digital marketing expenditure, right? So you can see that there have been over 300,000 job postings in digital marketing in the last 12 months, and we're seeing a 20% growth in roles that are requiring digital marketing. And most expenditures, we're seeing going towards digital marketing efforts today. So let's go a little bit deeper into how the program is structured, which is maybe some of the questions that you might have coming into this webinar. So again, we're going to be preparing you in 3 courses for growing fields in digital marketing. You're going to graduate with a certificate from Emory Continuing Education. And you're going to also, as part of this experience, get career navigation content and one-on-one career coaching, which I'm going to talk about today and is a real differentiator from other programs in similar topic areas. So this custom learning platform that you're going to use, when you open it up, you're going to be able to access Facebook Ads Manager, spreadsheets, Google Analytics, all within the Pathstream platform. You're not going to have to download other software or switch tabs. It's all really going to be inside of the Pathstream platform. And you're going to be navigating this using this hands-on labs environment, which I'm actually going to demo for you today. Another part of your experience is your personalized instructor and your sort of that feedback, that additional learning that you're going to get from Mary, who's on this call today. So this course is project-based, which means that you're going to be completing projects, not taking tests to earn the certificate. And Mary is really there to encourage you, to provide support in those projects, to provide personalized feedback on those projects, and answer questions that you might have about the content. And I'm going to have Mary talk a little bit about her role. And actually, I think this is a good time to talk a little bit about your role, Mary, if you're open to it.
Of course. You know, I've got 2 programs running right now, and it has been really exciting. You know, I mentioned earlier that I've been teaching at Emory for nearly 17 years. I've been in the industry for more than 25 years, and you know, we've this new approach, this hybrid approach to learning in a program, I think is really my favorite that I've ever experienced as an instructor and in an academic environment. And one of the things that I have found with my students is, as always, I always knew this about students, that everybody learns differently. We all learn differently. Some of us are really good at independent learning. Some of us are somewhere in the middle, and some of us really are more comfortable when they have some more personalized experience. And running a classroom in an older model of doing this didn't allow to be able to segment people in those 3 primary areas, which this allows us to do and allows me to do. I have found that I spend as much time as my students need from me with them. And so what I do is I have a weekly live session with everybody. I call it office hours. And so for the 15-week program, which Lauren will get more specific about timing and everything, but there's 15 weeks for the program. I have 15 lectures I do that coincide with the content in our 3 wonderful courses. And so I've brought my own experience, and I have, as a teacher and working as a marketing professional over all these years, and I am adding that additional content with direct teaching experience. And then I have had the ability throughout a given week in the 15 weeks to work with my students individually. And so I have some students who are really doing fine on their own, and they're doing great with their projects. And as they work on their projects and their exercises, I go into the learning environment, and everything that Lauren was saying, it's this, you have Google Docs and Google Sheets that you're working in, and other environments that are really easy to work with. And then I go in and I can leave very extensive information as I'm grading and working with students, and allowing them, if they need to go back and rework some exercises, which is absolutely fine. I tell my students all the time that the goal here is to get them what they need to help them with whatever they're here for. Like what Lauren said, whether they're here to expand on what they already know, to learn something completely new, or to start their own business or do something like that. So one of the first things I do is I get to know everybody and why they're here, and so that I can help them more specifically, uniquely, individually in that way. And I'm just finding tremendous opportunities happening while the program is going on. I have students who are already interviewing for new opportunities. I have a student right now who's taken on a new client that she's using as the project in the program to develop a digital marketing plan for her new client. And she was very nervous about it, but I'm like, you know what, I'm here with you, and we'll do this through this, and let's be straight with our client about what's happening. And it's going wonderfully, and it's building her confidence and giving her direct experience. And all of this direct experience, whether it's with a real world client or working with the project, more project-based focus in the course, this is all the type of work that you can lay into a portfolio as a case study, which is extremely important to show whomever you're showing out there, potential employers or clients, that you can get this done and do this effectively and well and feel confident because you've already done it. So, so yes, I've got the ability to identify what every individual student needs. I have the ability to give them the time they need. They can come in to my weekly live session where I have additional lectures, or go and watch that on their own time. They have the ability, like Lauren said, to bring in their own real world project if they want. And you know, I've been teaching digital marketing for several years now, and I'm finding that this is the best mix. And I'm real confident that these students are getting the very best of what they need to be able to go back out into the world and do what they need to do. So I'm sorry, Lauren, I do go on. This went too long. Sorry.
Thank you, Mary. That was really helpful, and it's great to hear what you do in your classroom. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, great. So what I want to touch on real quick is some of the career services that are a part of this program. So, you know, in the first course, you're able to opt into a weekly newsletter of job opportunities in digital marketing, and that is something that you'll get throughout the program. When you get into the final course, things start to get really interesting because you're able to get your resume reviewed by a certified resume reviewer. You're able to meet with one of our career coaches one-on-one to talk about your goals and to kind of create a plan for how you're going to search for a job or get to your career goal. We provide networking support, we provide mock interview support, and we're really there with you throughout the program to help you to get to the outcome that you're looking for. So again, this is a real differentiator from other programs out there, and I wanted to take a moment to kind of put a fine point on it. So as Mary mentioned, there are 3 courses in this certificate that are each 5 weeks long for a total of 15 weeks. So you will be done with the certificate in 15 weeks. The program is self-paced, which means that Mary is creating some lectures and some office hours, but if you're not available during that time, you can watch it at another time. And really this is done to create a flexible program for adult learners that have jobs, that have other responsibilities. And so every week, Mary is going to tell you what she wants you to complete in the course, but you can choose when within that week you sign on and do that work. As we just talked about, there is Mary there to support you, and when you complete, you're really earning that certificate from Emory Continuing Education, which is a really valuable credential out there. Yeah. So here are some testimonials from students that are just like you that have decided to enroll in this experience. You can see that they really love the labs environment, which I'll show you in a few moments, as well as these knowledge checks where you can test your knowledge in a way that's not graded. They're kind of like quizzes. I'll show you those as well. And just the way that the information is broken down into manageable pieces so that it's not so overwhelming for kind of a full-time working adult. Many students ask us, you know, how much time should you expect to work on these courses? And some students spend less or more, but in general, we're seeing most students spending 10 to 15 hours a week navigating the content and doing the projects. And we don't require that you have any prior knowledge in marketing in order to enroll in this experience. You may have some, in which case you can move a little bit faster through the content, but if you don't have any, we just ask that you have a high school degree. You may have heard of these exams that are offered by Facebook called the Facebook Blueprint Certified Exam. Now, this is an optional exam that you can take if you'd like, but our programs are aligned with that exam so that you can seamlessly take that exam if you're interested. But it's not required. We do like to mention it, that it is an industry exam you could take. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen and show you a really brief glimpse into the Pathstream platform that you'll be using for this experience. So I'm switching over here, just making sure you're seeing this. Yep. So what you're seeing here is the Pathstream platform. And so this is actually the second course in the certificate, which is about marketing analytics. So this is a more technical course. It goes into some depth on data analysis. And you can see that the program is laid out into sections. And so, for example, this is section 3 on visualization, section 4 on data analysis. And Mary might say, you know, okay, in this week, we'd like you to complete section 3 and section 4. And so that's up to you when you log in and do that. But she's going to be guiding you and instructing you on what to complete each week so that you stay on track to complete in those 5-week periods. So if we go into one of these lessons here, you'll see that there are subcomponents, some smaller lessons here, and there's some time estimates with how long we think this will take you. And if you go into this lesson, for example, you'll see that there's some kind of basic tables here where we're displaying information. We like to use a lot of visuals here to kind of get you acclimated to, for example, the Google Sheets environment, which we're introducing in this lesson. We have short videos here that really kind of break down different components of a spreadsheet, for example, which is what this lesson is about. And then I actually am going to show you what this lab environment looks like. But before I get there, I want to show you one of these things that they're called a knowledge check, which is what I was mentioning before, which are small quizzes that you can take to test your learning. And so in this knowledge check, you actually are getting an email from your manager that's asking a specific question, and you're opening up a spreadsheet here, and you're answering their questions. And so you can see that the email from the manager is asking, you know, for specific information, and you're actually selecting, you know, the answer that they want. You're submitting that, and you're able to kind of see the correct answer and why it's the correct answer. And these are knowledge checks that are not graded, but they give you an opportunity to really test and make sure that you're learning and understanding things that you're reading and kind of including that explanation. So I want to show you this lab environment. So when I press Launch Lab, what's happening is Google Sheets is opening up your own specific instance on the right-hand side of the screen. And so this is already pre-populated with some marketing data. You can see here users, new users, number of sessions across various marketing channels. And on the left-hand side, you're actually going to be given instructions on how to manipulate and work through some of the information on the right. So, for example, they're asking you to resize the columns, clean up the data a little bit. You can watch GIFs and images to see how to do that. In the next one, they're asking you to add a missing row. So these are basic spreadsheet functions that, you know, if you already know spreadsheets, you can move a little bit faster. But if not, there's a really step-by-step process to analyzing this marketing data. And you can, you know, you can manipulate this on the left. You know, you can do anything you want here on the right-hand side of the screen. And it can save. It will save automatically. You can return to it. But this is really the labs environment. And this is also the environment that you're going to use to do your projects. And that's really exciting because, you know, Mary's going to be able to grade your projects based on your spreadsheets, based on your presentations that you're, you know, working on in this labs environment. And instead of a next button, there's actually going to be a submit button where you would send this back to your instructor for grading. So this is just a small sort of glimpse into the platform that you're going to be using to learn. And what I want to do now is make sure to take any questions that you have about this experience for myself, for Mary, that might help you to understand if this is the right program for you.
Thank you very much, both. Amazing information, great insights, seeing the demo, the insights from you, Mary, on your interactions with students. I really hope that for the audience that they found this beneficial. And I already have the list of questions, which I'm going to go through. And I just want to remind everybody that in your side panels under the question box, feel free to type your questions. So let's address them now. And just a moment. The first one is from Kimberly. Can we hear testimonials from former students? Well, Kimberly, I hope that you saw the slide for that we show the testimonials. I'm not sure if anything, Lauren or Mary, that you want to add for what students are saying so that we can share that with Kimberly and everyone.
Yeah, Mary, do you have anything from your most recent students?
Yeah, let's see. Let me think about it for a second, Kimberly. So I've got student, and I don't want to just say all the lovely, fabulous stuff. I have some students who were saying that some students were saying it was a lot more than they had anticipated work-wise. But then when we sat down together, we found out, no, it does work out to be about 10 to 15 hours a week. But what happened was we sat down and we worked out a way that they could get through it. I have students who are very excited right now about how prescient it feels. It feels very much in tune with what's happening existing, what they're finding out there in the world as far as job descriptions and requests by their bosses about what they need to be doing. So they were very excited about how super up to date and state of the art things are. They like the mix, like what Lauren was saying, that this is self-paced, and the additional material I'm providing is completely voluntary, whether they want to join for office hours once a week or just follow up and watching the video of it. But what I'm finding is that students are loving the breadth of options with that. They're saying, you know what, it's great, I never need to talk to you. Or it's wonderful that if I want to, I can call you or text you anytime and you're available for me, or somewhere in the middle. And so I think that might be the strongest thing I'm hearing, or the most consistent thing I'm hearing, is how much everybody's enjoying their ability to choose and make of this what they need to for their particular experience in life right now, for their family and their work life, and also just for how they learn. We talk about that a lot in my sessions with them, that everybody's a different learner, like I mentioned before. And so part of this is, oh, this is great. I get to actually learn the way I best learn. I don't have to learn in some fixed way that somebody's making me learn. And I think that might be one of the nicest features. And also one more thing is, tell you I go on, don't I? But one more thing is that they start to see that, yes, this is a digital marketing program, but honestly, folks, what's valuable in the industry is that you have these extraordinary digital skills and ability to employ them with traditional understanding of what marketing is. And we are covering both. So whether you have traditional skills and you need these new digital skills, or you have the digital skills and need a grounding in traditional, or neither and you need both, my students are very excited that all of them are feeling like they're at a level plane with people out there who they're competing with for opportunities. So that I think too is a really strong feature from what I'm hearing from them.
Thank you, Mary. And you go on because you have so much to give. So thank you for that. And really, when you mentioned earlier during the presentation, and now again, that piece of that everybody learns different. So want to go on a huge tangent about this and how important this is for our entire education system, which I really, really hope that this is the direction we are going if we want to harvest the most out of human potential. But I'm just going to leave it with that because we have this list of questions. I would definitely like to digest this topic more, because I really, sort of somebody who works in education for all of us, I think this is very, very important and should be important to all of us. Speaking of student feedback, which Mary, you may just continue if you want on this question, what are the areas that students struggle the most during the program?
Okay, I don't know if you're going to like this answer, but I'm a teacher, remember? And they struggle with the things that they need to learn. So, Lauren showed you the breakdown of the 3 courses, and, one is about foundational learning in marketing and digital marketing. The next one is very strong in analytics and data gathering and analyzing that. And then you have the social media and the putting together campaigns in the third. Well, if you don't have a lot of experience or your comfort level isn't with data and analytics and working with in spreadsheets, then that is going to be a little bit more of a struggle for you. If your background is IT, I have a student right now, her background is pure programming and IT, and she's like, oh, wow, I love the second course. It was a big learning curve for me to get through these foundational marketing pieces. But that said, even though it's challenging, challenging is good. Remember, I'm a teacher saying this. Challenging is good. And what I'm also finding, even with, I have a student right now who is one of those folks. She's a pure creative, whatever you want to consider that to be. And so in the analytics section, she was apprehensive about that. And then she got into it and she had a blast with it. She's like, this is so exciting. So when you're facing something that is difficult for you, I can tell you, I've never in 17 years found somebody who couldn't do something that they tried to do. And it's really about confidence. And so if you're struggling in any way, you come to me and we work through it and we find a way to get you through it. And that's what I'm here for. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mary. Well, that was a question from George. George, I hope you found it helpful. Then question from Anna, can you talk more about the careers in digital marketing? And I'm not sure, Lauren or Mary, whoever wants to take it.
How about if I just say a couple of things and you can polish me up here. So my experience, folks, is that, and this is one of the things I start telling my students, category-wise, you're either a generalist or you're an expert, okay? So if you and you may not know what you are, and I have students right now discovering that as we talk about it, but if you're a generalist, you're gonna enjoy having a broad skill set that enables you to be a coordinator, a specialist, like Lauren was talking about, where you dabble in several different areas in digital marketing. And it could be SEO, it could be email, it could be social media, it could be becoming more, and then building up to a higher level where you're strategizing and directing. Or you may be a specialist. You really love data, and that's what you do. You specialize in data, you specialize in analytics, you specialize in AI, you specialize in those things. Or you really love social media, or you love a very specific platform. You love just working in paid, you love just working in organic. And so I would say that it runs across the spectrum where you can go, but you need to start with finding out if you're a generalist or a specialist. And then from there are just remarkable opportunities. And it's not just directly opportunities in social media, but like Lauren had mentioned earlier, it could be augmenting what you're already doing. It could be starting your own business or taking your business to another level. I have a student who's working with a real world client who has a restaurant and they're not online. And so not only is she getting them online and developing an online marketing strategy, but she's educating them about how to manage that themselves as well, which is really exciting for her. So that's a whole new role. Not only do you do the setup, but you also implement it and then give them a system to work with. So, it's across the realm. You could be working in legal or in healthcare, and there's going to be a digital marketing piece in there for you. So anyway, what else do you think, Lauren?
I don't think I have anything to add to that, Mary. That was great.
Okay.
Thank you. Then another question from Kimberly. I have my MBA, which I completed in 2006. Will taking this course help me to grow in my marketing career?
Mary, do you have thoughts on that?
Yes, very strong. I have so loved being somebody, Kimberly, and everybody who works in the field while I'm teaching, because it gives me a real closeness to the experience of my students as they're breaking in or trying to do the work themselves. And but I so highly value academic programs that prepare them theoretically for doing the hitting the ground running work. And so I would say for you particularly, you've got obviously have such brilliant knowledge and experience educationally. I think what we can do for you is help you hit the ground running with some very down-to-earth, practical skills about how to do anything from finding clients and figuring out whether you're a journalist or whether you're a generalist or an expert, what kind of role you might be pursuing, how that might apply to you, to figuring out how to brush up your LinkedIn area, figuring out how to approach a client, how to manage a project. These are all very on the ground things that we can help you with right now based on what's happening right now in the field. And so yes, I would argue that you could blend that beautiful academic experience with this very much rooted and grounded experience that we can give you.
Thank you, Mary. Question from Stephen. What is the most important element to student success? I think there are some elements that we already talked about that would be applicable for the answer for this question. But Mary, anything that you would add to that?
Yeah, and remember, I'm a teacher. So I want you to make all the money in the world. I want you to have your dream job and live in your dream existence, all of that. I want that for you. But mostly what I want for you is self-confidence and self-actualization and self-realization and feeling good about what you're doing in your career or with your business or in your volunteer work or whatever you're going to use this for. I want you to feel good about this. I care that you're making all the money you want to make, and you will, I'm sure. But what I mostly care about is that you're building your confidence, that you're learning more about yourself, that you're self-actualizing, and that you're happy doing what you're doing. That to me is what makes for success for any student in the world, period, but of course for our students.
Awesome. 100% agree, Mary. 100%. So the next two questions, I'm going to kind of marry them together because I'm going to marry them together. Which is another one from Kimberly about the first payment, when is it due, and then a question from Francisco about when the next date for the program. So Lauren, if you want to take that.
Yeah, so the next day for the program is May 10th. That is when we will start another cohort. So I believe that the deadline to enroll would be something like May 7th. And in terms of the payment plans, let me get to that slide really quickly, but we have a 6 or 12-month payment plans. I don't know how much is owed right when you sign up, but that's a good question that if you would like an answer to before you start the application process, this is an email address that you can reach out to us at, and we can give you more information on pricing beyond what I already shared.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And I think this will probably be the last question today from Stefania. It's kind of perfect to finish this webinar with a question: where is digital marketing going? Which is a very thoughtful, question. And of course, as the things are changing and evolving, and I think it would be appropriate to ask Mary for her thoughts, having spent so many years in this field. And Mary, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, in fact, I did an office hours last night, and it was so lovely. I so enjoyed that live experience in the classroom with my students. And we were talking about inbound versus outbound marketing. And do a search for that on your own, folks. I think you'll enjoy this discussion, that we have been in a traditional world outbound in how we're approaching communicating in all ways, not just marketing, but in every way. Journalism, media of all kind. We've been sort of outbound because we basically have been presenting information to people, having a sort of narrow idea of who we're talking to, and using the best data that we can gather to see if we're doing okay. What we do now in the inbound world is, it's not just about us pushing out information to the world. It's about understanding that there's tremendous diversity of people. We have the ability to see and understand that now. We have the ability to communicate and to connect and to interrelate with audiences, to understand how to track them in such a way so that we can better get messaging out to them and get to them the information that they need to make their lives better. So digital marketing has elevated what we've ever done with traditional marketing, and it's allowing us to be more authentic with brands, authentic with messaging, understanding how to communicate one-on-one, not just with one narrow area of the audience, but the broad section of people that live out there. It's like what information digitally has done for us. It's leveled the playing field. And so from the perspective of somebody who wants to work in digital marketing as opposed to, or as opposed to another field, or who's evolving from traditional marketing, is I think it is a richer opportunity base, because it's like Lauren was talking about, it's a massively growing plateau for what you can do, whether you're working directly as a marketer or in some ancillary role in some other industry. But it gives so many more opportunities for people of all different ages, for people of all different backgrounds who come from all different realms of experience, women, men, people of different cultures and experience, and it's leveled everything out, because we've recognized in inbound marketing and inbound communications that we are speaking to everybody in the world, not just a narrow spectrum of the population. And so I'm very excited, having been old enough to live through the transition of traditional and static to dynamic and digital. And for me, I just think it makes what we do in marketing more authentic. It means better corporate contributions to what we're trying to say in the public square of the world that we talk in together. And I'm finding with my students graduating and going into the industry, they're really happy people. And they're not stressed like in the old world of my youth, because they really are feeling good about what they're doing. They feel like they're contributing to lots of authentic communications. So I don't have any idea if I answered that the way our friend had asked, but I'm very excited about where digital marketing is going, having witnessed a quarter of a century of what it's been like. And I think this is the best time in the world for you to be getting into marketing, quite frankly.
Mary, thank you very much for the thoughtful answer and the insight, and a quite a positive message about this field. And before we wrap up, just a couple of things to mention. So if you have further questions about this program, Emory_certificates@pathstream.com would be the email. If you have questions about other courses and programs at Emory Continuing Education, that would be learn@emory.edu. We will follow up with you after this webinar with some information. And Mary and Lauren, I will just say until next time. And for everybody else who attended today's webinar, thank you for your time. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and the week. And I will say that coming together is beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Thank you very much. And we hope that you will allow us to work with you so we can help you be successful. Cheers, everyone. And until we see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.